Hello, everyone. My name's Chad Erickson. I'm the Vice President of Strategy at MyAdvice, and I am so excited to welcome you today to our Vodcast and to introduce you to our guest, Michael Gutlove from ERJ Solutions. Michael, thanks for joining us. Michael is the CEO and founder of ERJ Solutions, and he is passionate about helping small businesses. That's actually probably the best introduction I can give. But he has, this is his 25th year, so quarter of a century, if you believe that. Amazing. But 25 years of helping small business owners like you really understand merchant solutions and how to really maximize efficiency and every single dollar within your practice. And so we appreciate you being here. Michael, take a minute and maybe give a little more background on you and how ERJ Solutions came to be. I think it's important for people to understand that.
Sure. Good morning, Chad. It's really a pleasure just to be on with you again and talk. And, when you say 25 years, it kind of just like I feel the crink in my back a little bit because certainly it's been a while. But I think you kind of hit it on the head, with the intro. Working with small business owners is something that I'm very passionate about. And it just kind of goes straight out of when I came out of college and I was working with business owners in a variety of different industries, offering consulting services. And the underlying principle that kind of just kept on coming up over and over again, regardless of the industry, is business owners seem to have a very difficult time to get paid from their clients. They do what they do. They're experts in their field, but their level of collection varies. Some business owners will expect or anticipate payment to be delivered upfront. Majority of them will perform the service, take a small piece up front, and then over time just hope and try and pray to a certain extent that they're able to collect. So I was able to develop somewhat of a solution-based skill set as far as just listening to what is working, what isn't working. And after my son was born, I changed the name of the company, or Michael Gutlove Consulting, to ERJ Solutions. ERJ stands for Evie, Rachel, Jared. I named the company after my children, just to kind of put a little bit more of somewhat of a easy touch, a family type business. A lot of small businesses are very family centered, and that's how I try to approach it every opportunity that I talk to. Just very casual. Let's listen to what's working and work hand in hand with them.
I love it. And the fact that you're a small business owner as well really lends credibility. But it doesn't mean you can't help, a lot of these practices, sometimes a small guy can be very, very flexible and move things faster than some of the big companies, which is awesome.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. Which in today's world is absolutely appreciated and needed. Michael, you and I have talked about this a lot, and I hope that everyone that's listening today or watching this understands that what we're trying to do at MyAdvice and the partners that we bring in, our goal is to be value add, right? What else can we bring in that's maybe tangential to what we're doing, but that we feel can be a value and benefit to your business? We understand that, hey, you are an expert at what you do, but if we can bring in some other pieces that are going to help you be more efficient, be better, maximize every single dollar, that we all win. And that's what we're trying to do. So in that light, Michael, what have you consistently seen are the biggest challenges facing small business owners with their merchant services and payment processing in today's world?
So I love this question. I think I get it asked time and time again. And I think where I want to focus today is just one simple answer, because there are many things which I think come up, but one thing which just, to your point, it just comes up over and over and over again, is that there are simply too many ways right now to get paid. There are too many options. If we think about a medical practice, for example, that opens up and decides that they're going to hang a shingle, they're going to buy a particular space, they're going to rent space, they're going to open up their own practice, they're going to have a conversation with their bank. Right. And the bank at some point is going to say, or they're going to ask, who are you using for credit card processing? That same practice is going to have a conversation perhaps with the practice management software or an EMR company. And somewhere along the line within that conversation will be merchant services. Presumably that company will also look to do some SEO or to do some sort of marketing or some sort of outreach as far as being able to get clients. And at some point, inevitably, the conversation will come up, well, who are you using for your credit card processing? We all have a variety of software pay type solutions where there are different ways for us to be able to make payments. I mean, everyone has Apple Pay, there's Google Pay, there's insert company name pay. And as a business owner, we have a somewhat of a paralysis by analysis approach by, well, which one is right for me? Which one makes the most sense for my business as far as how do I get paid? So if we're going to identify a common theme, I think to a certain degree, it's great that we have so many choices. But now the practice owner, who, as you mentioned earlier, is an expert at what they do, they're kind of a little bit overwhelmed. And they're kind of asking themselves, well, which one makes the most sense for me? Which one makes the most sense for my business? And two, once they make that decision, this isn't a set it and forget it type thing. Is that decision that maybe that I made when I opened my practice 4 months ago, 4 years ago, is it still the best solution for me today? So there's that ongoing challenge of, hey, am I using the right thing? So we need to simplify the whole payment processing acceptance piece.
That's really good advice, because it does feel like there's so much, right? I think we all feel probably this burden of so much information today, and and then it's like, how do I know what's right? How do I simplify this? How do I am I making the right decision? And sometimes people feel like, I think made the right decision, but in the life cycle of my business, it's no longer that. And I know we've gone through that as a business, right? It's like, that was the best solution at that time. We've outgrown that. And we need to evaluate that. So how do you and how does ERJ Solutions, Michael, help businesses, navigate that and really understand, why you might be the better solution for them, and differentiate you from somebody else?
So the main principle that ERJ Solutions operates off of is that no two businesses are the same. We don't represent one particular exclusive payment solution. We certainly offer a variety of different methodologies for payments to be accepted, whether they're face-to-face transactions, whether they're transactions that happen over the internet, on a website, via SMS. What we do is we almost kind of stand outside of the box of the practice, and we take a very consultative type approach of what's working and what isn't working. So our first step, whenever we're introduced to an opportunity, is I like to call it the patient car wash or the client car wash, where I ask the owner to take me through from beginning to end, what does it look like when a new client, a new paying client, first finds the office, finds the business, schedules an appointment, has the actual service or procedure done, and then subsequently collects. And we go through, a very precise, different stops. Okay, this seems to be somewhat intuitive. This seems to be working well. But hey, this maybe could be done a little bit better. And once we've identified what's working and what isn't working, we then kind of get into, on my side, the nitty gritty. We look through the numbers. What is it costing in order to accept this payment? How much of a fee is being added on because they used a credit card, say maybe versus a debit card? Or is there an option to use ACH? Or are they paying via SMS on their phone? These are all the different components that come at the exploratory stage. So the patient, the client, the end user hasn't paid anything for all this. This is just looking at what they're doing. Based off of what we come back with, and this is typically a very short period, we'll come up with some suggestions. We'll come up with some recommendations. And then at that point, it's the decision of the practice owner, of the business owner, to say, hey, you know what? This makes sense. Or, hey, you know what? This isn't so much of a hurdle to jump over. And at that point, we move over to phase 2, and we actually start implementing.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's really good background. So, because I think one of the challenges, if someone's actually, if they're like, this isn't really for me, they've already left, right? If they're still listening and watching this today, they're probably thinking, yeah, I'm not really content with what I have for my merchant services. Their pain point is likely something along this line. Like, I hate what I have, but switching is a real pain. I'm not sure I want to do that because I don't,
Right.
a little bit of that, the devil I know versus the devil I don't know.
Right.
It's not really the devil, but you know what I mean. And it can be painful. So you've kind of taken us through that process. Maybe break it down into terms of time, because we think about, I think if I'm a practice owner or a small business owner today, I'm thinking about the time value of money. And so I have limited time. I've got a busy, schedule. What's the commitment, time commitment to just do an evaluation, with you?
So the initial conversation is just that. It's a matter of a calendar update. We're talking 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes or so over the phone, or in person. We can do that as well. All we're doing is we're just letting the business owner talk about what they do. And a lot of people actually find that therapeutic, believe it or not, just kind of telling them what they do. Step two is a very simple side-by-side analysis of the financials. We'll actually kind of, the specific information that we're going to look at. And then step three is that presentation that I mentioned. We say, okay, here's where you are, here's where you could be. But where I think some of the trepidation may have existed, which what you were alluding to, is when I first started in this industry, we were dealing with a lot of credit card machines that had to be programmed on site, or maybe there was a lot more of in-person setup that needed to be done.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, and we're a lot more in the cloud, so to speak, and a lot of the programming and a lot of the data transfer that could potentially happen typically happens offsite. So when a new device is sent over or a new login is created, we're literally just replacing what's there, and then everything kind of comes out of the box ready to go. So I'm somewhat simplifying it because certainly every case is going to be different and unique. But I think to a certain degree, where I was kind of knocking technology earlier because there are so many choices, where technology helps the situation is that it takes some of that, maybe that apprehension away, because on a Friday afternoon, one business owner could be using processor X, and by Monday morning, they could be all set and running with one of our solutions that we recommend. So the process itself, as far as transition, is a lot more seamless. Is not as convoluted as perhaps maybe people think, but it's that first step, right? They have to be willing to kind of go along that journey together, and hopefully we're able to make a convincing argument that it's worthwhile.
And I think that's fantastic. I think that, yes, if you're looking to do that side-by-side cost reduction analysis, why wouldn't you? And I think it's important to note also that you kind of alluded to this. Yeah, there's processes that might come with your software, like your EMR, PM softwares. You're not beholden to those. Usually you can often switch those to whatever you might find that's best. They're certainly, that's their recommendation, but doesn't mean that it still can't be a seamless, process in there. So again, if you're feeling like, boy, this doesn't work the way I want it to, if you feel like the fees seem exorbitantly high, you're looking to just evaluate, then I think that the next step is for them to give you a call and get in touch. So Michael, why don't you tell everyone today, best way to reach you? We've got it here on the screen as well, but go ahead and give your information out to everybody.
Sure. Please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, 201-281-1621. That goes directly to me. You can shoot me an email as well, michael@erjsolutions.com. There's a link on my website, erjsolutions.com, just to schedule a quick 15 or 20-minute call if you'd like. There's no charge just to have a conversation. And certainly there's that opportunity to maybe just kind of look under the hood a little bit. And if it makes sense, we proceed. And if not, certainly something to discuss maybe at a future time as well.
Awesome. Michael, thank you so much for taking everybody through this great information today on our podcast. And we thank you as our audience for participating, listening in, watching wherever you are. And again, we wish you all the best in your business success and hope that today's information helped you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.